Welcome to this episode of Gingerlocks, where I'm going to be doing Elite Collaborator. I am level 1. This is Life 3. I'm doing the Great Old One Pact, which is the Acid Damage Pact. And I'm going to be focusing on the Soul Eater tree. Did Tainted Scholar last life and Enlightened Spirit the first life. And so right now I don't have a lot going on here. This is the +5 universal spell power from the first innate, and I got +6 universal spell power from this first tier enhancement. I'm also going to be doing this quest with nothing on except my Quiver of Alacrity because I don't want to run around really slow. I'm doing that because I wanted to talk about, I wanted to do a video right away, so I want to talk about what this tune looks like right out of the gate, or just speaking more broadly, what a tune with lots of past lives looks like right out of the gate. I know there's a lot of people out there that have never reincarnated, never heroic true reincarnated, or never epic reincarnated, or iconic reincarnated. And so I'm sure you know there are these things called past lives and they give you bonuses, but I wanted to bring them all together and make a list together of all of them so you can see what all that's given you, because it's a lot. And so let me bring it together here so you can appreciate what this tune looks like at level 1 with nothing else. So to start off with, I'm a 36-point build. So if you're a brand new tune or a new player, you got a 28-point build. I've got 57 hit points out of the gate, and I'm going to get 36 more at level 10, 36 more again at level 20, and then 36 more presumably at level 30 because of the way that those past lives tier with levels. Plus 120 spell points, plus 3 to the DCs of all my evocation and conjuration spells, plus 5 to all my spell pen checks, plus 9% critical chance with all my spells, a 7% chance for my spells and all attacks, but really I'm just mostly spell casting with this tune, to proc a random effect, and that can go off every 10 seconds, and plus 9 positive spell power. Also got 33 PRR, and that's approximately 25% physical damage mitigation. Plus 6 MRR, and that's about 6% elemental and magical damage mitigation. Plus 3% dodge, plus 18 AC, and that'll be 9 more AC at level 10, 9 more again at level 20, and then presumably 9 more at level 30 again because of the way the Martial Epic Past Lives tier. Plus 2 resistance to all elements, and then plus 6% elemental absorption. Plus 3 to all saves, plus 2 to save versus traps, plus an additional plus 2 to save versus enchantment and illusion spells. Then I got plus 3 to all skills, plus 2 to intimidate skills like spellcraft, or intelligence skills, excuse me, like spellcraft, plus 2 to use magic device skill. And I've got plus 5% heal amp, plus 6 to the stats of like my wolf, hirelings that I use, summons, charms, plus 1 to attack and damage, and then I have the auto 25% incorporeality that kicks in whenever I fall below 50% health, and that lasts for 18 seconds, and that can trigger once every 2 minutes. So all of that is what I get out of the gate. Pretty awesome. I mean, you start to feel like, I mean, you're really approaching invincibility almost, at least for these heroic levels, and it's a big boost even in epic levels. And I made a graph to illustrate that point. Okay, that's just my little joke. But I did give you an idea for your next tune name, right? How many of you are going to go make a tune named Invincibility? Alright, this guy's in some kind of mood tonight. But that's what you get, folks. There's no hope for me. Alright, so I don't even have you know, a corrosion item, and I don't have like an impulse item, so the DPS is going to be kind of slow and low. Slow and low! No, not like the Beastie Boys. Alright, this is just getting ridiculous. Let's get started. So the point is, You know, if you've never TR'd, or maybe you're scared to because, and I was there. You know, you worked so hard to get to that cap tune. You're like, oh, I'm gonna lose it all, but it's fun releveling that tune. You know, I was you know nervous about it back in the day when I did my first TR, and you know I felt like I did all this work, but it was really fun to work, you know, through the game again on that tune, on this tune that I loved, and it just kept getting more and more powerful. You know, one of the things I didn't add to that list is, you know, if you get one of every heroic past life, you also have access to the completionist feat. It does take a feat slot, but that is +2 to all stats, and then an additional +2 to all skills. So I like to take that. You know, some people knock the completionist feat, but I think if you break it down to, if you think about its constituent components or what it really translates into, I mean, it's pretty huge. You know, +2 to all stats, so that's, you know, another 28 hit points as it is when you're capped. That's +1 to all saves because all your relevant ability scores are increased. It's you know, +1 to you know, like AC because of the added dexterity. It's +1 to all skill checks, and then you get the additional +2 to all skill checks. So you know, you're getting a lot there. I'd gladly pay a fee for that. It's definitely not the end all be all, but I think it's well worth it. You know, you also figure it translates into like +1 to the DC of all your spells. So like a much better option than, you know, a, you know, like a spell focus feat, for example. That's just going to give you a +1 to a certain school. A completionist feat would translate into +1 to all schools. One of the things I don't like about the Great Old One Pact, and I noticed this when I was grouping with other Warlocks even before I was doing this pact, I don't like the way it sounds. Just, I don't know, reminds me of like flatulation or something. I'm gonna let these guys beat on me for a moment here, just so you can see like all that extra defense from all the PRR and the AC, what that looks like right here at level 1 with nothing on. Remember, I have nothing on right now. You know, and this would be a huge difference compared to like a 28 point build on a brand new tune that didn't have anything. And it wasn't that long ago that I did a little project, and if you haven't been following my channel for very long, I did this project at the end of last year called the Favorite Soul Evoker True First Life Project, where I made a brand new tune on a different server where I didn't have any friends, I didn't have ship buffs, I didn't have any gear or plat or anything, and you know, bring in that fresh tune with nothing into Elite Korthos quests. You know, those mobs are a little scary. And so if you haven't seen that series and you're interested in it, there is a section for it in my channel. That was a fun challenge. But, you know, that tune, if I had just stood there against those mobs, I would have been dead 3 times over just then. But this tune can take a pounding. Just from those past lives. I was watching some of the live stream this week. They did a preview of update 27, and pretty excited about that update. There's a lot of awesome gear. So the end game gear for, you know, Ginger when I go back to Druid is, I'm going to be making quite a few changes. They also said they're going to be adding more mysterious relic turn-ins, including tomes of PRR and MRR. Pretty awesome. I was just on DDO cast this past weekend, and some of the guys that were on there with me were saying, they weren't that, they're just like, oh, it's just one, because I guess they're gonna start off with +1 tomes of MRR and PR, and they're like, oh, it's just one, who cares? And I'm not trying to knock those guys at all, but a lot of people sort of will look at things from that perspective. Oh, it's just one, or it's just, but you can't. You need to look at things more holistically. It's never, if you just isolate one by itself, okay, yeah, that's not a big deal. But it's all the +1s and all the +2s and all the +5s all added together that make your tune and make it a good tune. You look at a spell focus feed, for example. It's just +1. Well, if that's all you ever got, yeah, it wouldn't really make that much of a big deal. But you get all three of them. That's +3, and then you get +6 from piece of gear, and then you get more from your ability, and it all adds up. And that's the point. You don't just pull out one little component of it and say that's useless. You really got to look how it all adds up together, and that's where you feel the benefit. It's ridiculous. I should have at least made that corrosion an impulse item. Thanks for watching this ridiculous video. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube, and if you happen to be on Sarlona, you are welcome to send me a tell.